Hello, this is Chandan Sahu. SQL Planner is a software that can be utilized by any SQL DBA in an organization to analyze SQL Server health. They can also do the backup and auto restore in test server. It also has the capability of database scripting that can be automated, and it can also do index maintenance and shrink DB. This is supported from SQL 2008 R2 onwards and all edition including Express edition. You can also perform all these activities in mobile, tablet, PC or laptops even while you are roaming. That depends on the setting, whatever you have configured it for. So let's take a look at the demo of this software. Basically, when you land up in the dashboard of the page, you can see this is the two server that I'm monitoring, and I can see the heartbeat is live, and we can see there are several alerts that it has found, and these are the backup jobs and scripting related jobs that will be listed out over here. Once you would like to check the server health, you need to go from menu option and choose this SQL Server Health at the server level. We have two level of analysis, that is one that is at server and the another is at the database level. Let's take a look at the server level first. I can choose any custom date specific to these, starting from 1st of May to 10th of June. So we can see several performance counter related reports on the overall page, and we can see the master database is the one which has the highest number of average connection based on these specific date on a day wise. So this is the average level of connection number. We can see at the server level connection also on a specific date, and none of them has crossed more than 30, which is pretty small in number because it's a development machine. Let's take a look at the performance counter. We can see cache pages at the megabyte size level, and hovering mouse over it, it will display you at what specific date and time, what is the size of megabytes that it has taken on specific server. So this is just randomly, it has highest amount of specific spike on database page size in megabytes, so that can be ignored, and averagely we can see it's below 50. Similarly, you can also view the PLE and cache memory, buffer cache hit ratio, and the checkpoints. This is calculated based on the baseline divided by the current value. uh, Sorry, it is minus and uh, based on the baseline, and we can see the specific lock memory also, and we have buffer pool committed versus buffer pool visibility, and the last one is lazy write. We will be having several other performance counter reports here in future. Now let's take a look at the CPU and RAM usages. The first one is based on the aggregated average based on hourly basis. So we can see on a specific hour we have this much of count. So let's say 5 o'clock PM at the 3rd May, we just had 30% of CPU uses. This is at the minute level, and if we just want to see what is the SQL level CPU uses, we can simply strike it off, and we can see none of the time it has taken more than 1% because I don't do anything much on SQL Server in development machine. And this is what is the RAM size utilization based on hourly aggregated basis. And if we want to just focus on specific SQL related counters, we can simply strike it off and we will see none of the time it has crossed even more than 500 megabytes. So this is all about RAM and CPU uses. Let's take a look at the storage level. We see three reports here. One is at the database size level. So we see by default all the database which has the MDF and LDF size displayed when you will mouse over it. And in my development machine, none of them have taken more than 5 GB. But in your case, you can see spikes and properly how it is growing. So this is overall disk size of the server where SQL Server is hosted, and we can see, okay, this is a fastest filling and it has very low space. And this is the trend on starting from 5th of May to 10th of June, and we can see the highest fastest filling time was on this particular date. So mouse hovering over it will display what was the date and what is the disk drive name and what was the size and how it is growing, what is the total free size and what is the occupied size. So if we have in case lot of database and we would like to focus just one or two database, we can simply choose them. And let's say I'm interested in temp database size, and the default, it will pick up this date, and let's say the growth ratio. So if we mouse over it, we can see 5th of May it has started, and the end is 10th of June. So we can see, we can focus when it grows and it comes down depending on your server. Now let's take a look at the server beat report and SQL log error. So at this specific date and time, server was not reachable. You can assume that this time the server was down. And these are the SQL server log, error log. If you have any other logs about error, you will see them here listed. And these three tabs mainly focus on the query during this time, which query has taken highest amount of CPU, which query has taken the highest elapsed time, and which query has taken highest read and write amount of data. So you can mouse over and you can see this particular query had taken 251 megabytes of data to read, and this is the query. So you have all server health insight in it. In upcoming days, we'll have wait statistics, locking and blocking reports, and several many more. Now under this, if we click on database level health report, we will see, let's say we'll select, I'll just press escape and I'll choose the date till 10th. And what is the database? Okay, if let me select it again. That was because I'm just monitoring this database server for storage related. So I think I'm not getting table level report here, but at this moment we can see the database size and log size and temp database size, uh, data and log file size. So we will have many more reports in upcoming days over here also. Now let's take a look at the advanced option to perform a backup. Now let's give it a name, backup, and I would specify the credential. I need to specify where do I want to save this database backup file, and if I want to delete it after 10 days, you can do all these options. The feature that keeps SQL Planner unique is you can automatically restore this backup whenever it was done to your test server, so that you can validate that backup file is proper. And you need to specify what is the test server credentials, and that's all. Database will be dropped if it is a full backup, if it exists. Now I need to specify the location where it has to store, and this command says it has to enable XP command shell because it has to copy the backup file from shared directory to the test server. This is a method to copy, and once it has copied, it will disable the command shell. You uncheck it if you have already yourself enabled it. And if you want to do dbcc check db based on this backup file, then click on it. So in case you would like to automatically restore the differential backup or log backup, you hit restore with no recovery option and click next, and you specify where do you want to receive the alerts. So this guy, whichever email ID you have specified, you can he will be able to receive it, and you can review the SQL command. It is not exactly 100% as it is, uh, but it can give you a fair idea what it is going to do at the background. So you can execute it right now to test it, or you can also schedule it. If you can choose it, if you just want to execute at once, this is in 24-hour format, or uh, if you want to do it on daily or recurring basis. So I would say if I want to execute on specific time, so I would choose that time. That means 5 a.m. 5 o'clock 41 a.m. it will occur every day basis. If I want to execute it on a specific interval of time, I can choose this option and hit submit. At the moment, I'm just canceling it for the demo purpose. So this is all, and you can check the job log based on this. You can select a specific server and you can check the uh, specific job, how it has performed or not. And you can, if you want to just review based on the failed event, you can get all the error message here. So with this I have completed the demo of SQL Planner. Have a great day.